It's a broken world, Michonne. Put it together.
We couldn't do anything.
The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live marks a strong welcome return for previous franchise anchors Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera. The spinoff is emotional, gripping, and very wise when it comes to explaining where their characters wound up after they peeled off from The Walking Dead. That's paramount, right? Not just explaining their long absence and what Rick Grimes and Michonne have been doing, but also, in a way, justifying their departures from the parent series within a story that tricks us into thinking everyone involved knew what they were doing the entire time. The Ones Who Live accomplishes this in spades, though not without falling into some tired storytelling traps.
I have to keep trying. I won't stop. I'm getting there. I'm getting home.
Guerrera's Michonne is a revelation in this mini-saga. In an almost meta manner, her headstrong and heartstrong love for Rick fights back against what could otherwise be frustrating, unnatural plot devices. Every time she runs into one, whether it's characters avoiding the simple conversation that would solve their problem, or someone taking an exceedingly noble route rather than a plausibly human one, Michonne is there to smash these cliches down in the dirt.
This is not the answer. It must end.
Lincoln is in top form as well, playing a fundamentally shattered Rick. His anguish is key to all of this. After Lincoln left The Walking Dead, viewers had to reckon with why Rick never returned from flying away in that Civic Republic military helicopter. Something must have gone horribly awry. Rick's a tooth-and-nail fighter, and it would seem like no force on Earth could stop him from getting back to his loved ones. Addressing these questions is the monumental task of The Ones Who Live, and the show nails it. It takes us through the agony, the defeat, the shame, and the cerebral rewiring that happens to the traumatized. And through the first 4 of its 6 episodes, it all makes for some moving full-circle Walking Dead.
Your phone, you know what it says? The Japanese? Believe a little bit longer.
The miniseries also gives us our first, actually interesting immersion into the CRM. We've met this 3 circles A's and B's army before, on both Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead World Beyond, but without Rick there to immediately answer the most burning of questions, it all just felt like stalling. No, we really didn't want to know more about the group who took Rick, just give us Rick and tell us his story.
I'm trying to save a friend who saved me.
During season 9 of The Walking Dead, fans wondered if the CRM was the Commonwealth, the antagonists of the comics' final arc, and subsequently the show's too. But it wasn't, which made their existence even stranger. Why present a villainous group that's way more powerful than the actual endgame? There were many missteps with The Walking Dead's final years, and this was merely one of them. Fortunately, between Dead City, Daryl Dixon, and now The Ones Who Live, vastly superior Walking Dead TV is at our doorstep. Too little too late? Hard to say. But these shows are fine dining compared to the prison food of the Commonwealth arc. And The Ones Who Live has an advantage on its predecessors. Lincoln and Guerrera are the best performers in the franchise. On top of that, their characters have the one love story that remains. Their fates are tied to the hope that these dystopian series rely on to rise above excessive bleakness. It doesn't matter when you checked out of The Walking Dead, because you did, numbers don't lie. The Ones Who Live is worth the brief return to the fold.
It's been so long.
The credits on The Ones Who Live signal a more in-house, hands-on approach and the desire to get this one right. Scott Gimple, the former Walking Dead boss who now oversees the entire franchise for AMC, is back in the showrunner's chair with a main story he crafted with Guerrera. After advancing their kinetic style with the middle episodes of Hawkeye, British directing duo Bert and Bertie managed to open up the world of The Ones Who Live in a powerful way, tracking the characters across long stretches of time while still managing to maintain heart and emotional integrity. They direct the first 2 episodes, which are very much a here's what you missed block. A difficult task, but the stories that unfold within are stunning. The Ones Who Live is a love story, and it never forgets that.
I lost someone years ago. Now I'm looking for him.
There's a frustratingly long list of information this spoiler-free review can't divulge, but what you'll find in The Ones Who Live are 2 people waging a war to get back to one another. And after most of the physical dangers are met head-on, emotional hurdles remain. There's a timeout that you wish a lot of other shows would attempt with characters who aren't on the same page. Amid the grandeur of the CRM and its plans for the world, there's a unique theme about what comes next for humanity. What do we do after everything falls apart? It's about making small stories important within a movement obsessed with the big picture.
You don't get to choose for the world. You don't get to choose for me.
Rounding out the cast are Craig Tate, Leslie Ann Brandt, Terry O'Quinn, and of course, a returning Pollyanna McIntosh, while Matthew August Jeffers provides a pivotal part of Michonne's journey. They're all important in varying ways, making it even more irritating to look back at most of The Walking Dead's final years and all the new characters who retreated into an indistinguishable blah after their initial moments in the spotlight. The Ones Who Live is focused on telling a complete tale with little wasted movement, showcasing how much you have to scrape and claw to find and foster true love and intimacy in a world dedicated to survival at all costs. With powerful performances from its two leads, The Ones Who Live is an honest, arduous love story, pitting Rick's stubbornness against Michonne's stubbornness in a battle to give proper closure to one of the few remaining hopeful things about the entire Walking Dead saga. The series hits the mark, save for a few instances where the plot demands unconvincing character choices. For those who've waited years for answers, The Ones Who Live is equal parts sad, sinister, and satisfying. For more on The Ones Who Live, be on the lookout for our FanFest interview with the cast and showrunners, and for everything else, stick with IGN.
Why do you even think I'm gonna go along with all of this?
Because everything will change.